Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of Spark. I'm Coach David. Hope you're doing fantastic on today. And I hope that everything in your life is moving in the direction that you want it to move. Of course, as you recognize, it's up to you because you are the architect of your life. So I trust and believe that everything is going the way you want it to go because you've determined that it's going to go the way that you want it to go. And the minute you make that determination and you begin to move forward in that, I promise you, things begin to happen in your life that you desire to happen in your life. So welcome to the Spark on today. Reach out to somebody and let them know that Coach David is on and that I am going to share something with you on today that's going to take you to another level. I always like to do that, and I trust and believe that you are receiving from these lessons in this podcast and all of the different entities that we have working to get this information out. I also trust that you will share this with somebody and let them know, like, hey, this is great stuff in order to build the type of life that you want to build. Because remember, you get to design, build, and live your life. So you might as well make it the very best. On today, I'm going to talk about a very important subject. The title of it is How to Stay Focused in a Distracting World. I'm going to say that again. How to stay focused in a distracting world. Let me ask you a question real quickly. What is your number one distraction? If you had to boil it all down, what is your number one distraction? Is it social media? Is it other people's, stuff that they have going on? What is the number one distraction that's keeping you from being on point and being where you need to be when you need to be there? That is a question that you have to answer because then you can begin to determine some things to help you overcome that. Now, we said how to stay focused in a distracting world. So let's talk about what it really means for the context of our lesson, what it means to be focused and what it means to be distracted. When I say focus, how to keep your full attention on one specific task, one specific thought, or one specific goal. I like to call it locked in. And when we finish up, I'll share something with you about being locked in. And so that's what it means to be focused. What about distraction? Okay, well, a distraction, when you're distracted, your attention is being pulled away from the main thing. I'm sure you've heard this before. Keep the main thing the main thing. And many times, our attention, our focus can be pulled away from that. It can be pulled away by our devices like a cell phone or a television. It can be pulled away by people. It can be pulled away by noises or even the thoughts that are in our mind. So what we have to understand is that there are things out there, which I like to call DME, and I have termed that diminished mental engagement. And I like that term. The reason why, because I got three things that I think do that to you, cause you to have diminished mental engagement. And so we're going to go through all three of them. I'm going to provide you some techniques that I believe will strengthen you, will help you, and will encourage you if you will use them. Now, you have to put this into play. It's not going to, just happen because you want it to happen. You have to make a determination. I'm going to put this into play. I'm going to use these techniques in order to get focus, or my term, locked in. So here we go. The first, I said, it's diminished mental engagement, and I call that DME. Here's why: because of the distractions. The first one, the D, is digital distraction. What is that? That could be your cell phone. That could be notifications on your phone, on your computer. It could be, quote unquote, I'm multitasking, and I'm really going to talk about that. And so it could be any number of these digital things that pull our attention away. It could be the television, anything that's digital that pulls our attention away. So what happens is now what we do, we allow the digital distractions to pull us off task. So you have to go to this right here. If it's not the task, it does not get my attention. I'm going to say that again. If it is not the task, if in other words, if I'm not on task, if this is not pertaining to the task, it doesn't get my attention. How do you do that? I'm going to give you some simple techniques. Number one thing, I do this all the time myself. Take your cell phone and turn it face down. That way, when notifications come through and everything like that, if you have the phone on silent and you've turned it face down, you don't get distracted. Now, I wear a watch and I had to turn notifications off of my watch because it was getting my attention. Even while I'm driving, a notification will come in and I'm looking at my watch. That's a digital distraction that's pulling me away from what I need to be focused on. Like I said, if I'm driving, let's just take that. I need to be single task focused, not multitasking, because here's the truth of the matter. You really can't multitask. Now, I know what people are going to say. I do it all the time. Listen to this. The American Psychological Association has determined that you cannot multitask. Here's what you do. You task switch. In other words, it is not multitasking when you got several things going on. What you are doing is disengaging from one and engaging in another. And what you're causing the mental capacity of your brain to shut down from this to pick up this. It's called task switching, not multitasking. So I want to encourage you to get away even from the term multitasking. If you're going to switch. But I'm telling you right now, you're causing yourself to have diminished mental engagement when you do that, because your mind just cannot do that. Your mind has been designed to focus on one thing at a time, one task at a thing. So I'm going to stop all this switching because I caused my brain to disengage and have to re-engage. So what do? Here's the technique. Train your focus for 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, you can train your focus just like you can train the muscles of your body. Train your focus. I'm going to be focused for the next 3 minutes. And that may not seem like a long time, but here's what the situation is. You have to get started somewhere. So if I can train my focus for the next 3 minutes, then I can train my focus for the next 4 minutes, and I can train my focus for the next 5 minutes. Just like when you go in the gym and you train a muscle, you may start out at 5 pounds. But if you continue to train that muscle at 5 pounds, you will eventually get to the point where you can add a little bit more, 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. That is the exact same way your focus is. You've got to train it. And that's the D in the diminished mental engagement, digital distractions. Here's the second one, mental distortion. That's the M. Mental distortion. What in the world is that? That's when we start worrying. That's when we start overthinking. That's when we have all this mental clutter coming in. We got 1,001 things coming at us, coming in, and our mind, as I've already said, cannot handle all of that. So what we have now, we have mental distractions. It's the what if and the what will, if you will. So what if and what will takes your attention from what is the present moment. I'm going to say that again. What if and what will? What if this happens? What if I fail? What will people think? What are they going to say? Will take you from the present moment of what is. I have a saying that I like to use. Be present where your feet are. So if my feet are with my family, that's where I need to be present at. I don't need to be thinking about what if. I don't need to be thinking about what will. I don't need to be thinking about what they're going to think. I need to be thinking about, hey, I'm here with my family. Now, here's a technique. I call it N to P. What is that? Well, most of the time, the mental distractions come in from a negative standpoint. So here's what you got to do. You got to go from negative thought to a neutral thought to a performance thought. See, in other words, is what if I fail becomes, that's negative. It goes to the neutral of what did I study? Then it goes to the performance. I am ready for this. So you got to go from N to P, from a negative thought to a neutral thought to a performance thought. That will begin to help you get rid of all of the mental distractions, which cause diminished mental engagement. So what we got now, we got the D and the M. Let's go ahead and jump on the E, because I think the E, the mental engagement. Now we're going to talk about the E. That is environmental distractions. Boy, do we have a lot of those. Your environment shapes your mindset. So let me share something with you. If it is chaotic on the outside of you, it is chaotic on the inside of you. So you've got to understand this right here, that I've got to develop a technique to get me away from the chaos and bring me to the present focus like I need to be. Because watch this right here. We are all challenged by what's going on around us. Traffic, people, this, that, yelling, noise, you name it, it can distract us. Interruptions. Here's another one right here. Messy, cluttered spaces. All of those are what we call environmental distractions. And if you are not careful, it would pull you away from being present minded. And that is your diminished mental engagement. That's the E. So I'm going to give you a technique that's going to handle that. It's called DBA, the DBA technique, if you're writing it down. Here we go. DBA, the D, declutter. Only have what's needed. I'll give you a perfect example of that. My desk sometimes has all kind of stuff on it because I'm studying all kind of stuff. And when I come in sometime, all of the clutter, I have to straighten everything up, get everything in order so I can get focused on this thing right here that's before me. Because I don't want to be looking at that. I don't want to be looking at that. I don't want to be going all over there. So I've got to declutter and get it down to only what's needed. The second thing, the B of the technique, the B, that's called boundaries. What do you mean? You need to be able to share with people. Listen to what I'm saying. You need to be able to share with people in a way to let them know I need my boundaries. I do this sometimes. I say, okay, I need 5 minutes uninterrupted, especially a lot of times when I'm working with my students because, you know, they got things going on and everything. What I will tell them, I need 5 minutes uninterrupted. Why? Because I need to focus. So what did I do? I just put up a boundary of don't interrupt me. I was cordial. I was kind. I wasn't mean about it. I didn't say you had to be that way. Sometimes you have to be firm with people. But my thing is this right here. I need my boundaries. That's the B. The boundary prepares me for uninterrupted focus. So now my environmental distractions are not taking me away from being present minded, being where my feet are. So that's that. The next thing that you need is the A. I said it was a DBA technique. You need to declutter, you need boundaries, and then you need an anchor point. What is an anchor point? Here's an anchor point, okay? It's a word. You can use a word. It can be an action that you do, or it can be both. And so what you want to have something that will pull you back in to the present moment when all these things are going on. This is what I like to do. Now, I coach a high-performing drill team. And one of the things that I do with them, I have a DBA technique that I use with them. When we are preparing to go and perform for judges or just doing a performance, this is what I do. The first thing I tell them to do is to breathe. That's the action. I get them to breathe. I say, take a deep breath, let it out. Take a deep breath, let it out. Then I use a key word with them, lock in. They all know that means, boom, we're here. We're present minded. We're on the floor. Let's go. That's the next thing I say. All right, let's go. And then my drill team commander will now take them and go. So that's our DBA. That's our DBA technique. We have an action that we do by breathing. We have a word that we use, lock in. And then the next thing is let's go. That's like flipping the switch and we are ready to go. So with all of that being said that I've shared with you on today, this is how you stay focused in a distracting world. Because yes, our world is distracting if we allow it. But remember this right here, you're in control. And since I am in control, I get to determine what things flow in and out of my life that could possibly cause me to have that diminished mental engagement. So is it the digital stuff? I got a remedy for that. Is it the mental stuff? I got a remedy for that. Is it the environmental stuff? I have a remedy for that. So here's my call to action for you for this week. Begin to use these techniques to make sure that you are on point, that you are staying focused, you got your full attention on one specific task, one specific thought, or one specific goal. You are what I call locked in. I hope this has helped you on today. Listen, If it has, give thumbs up, give hearts, give shout out, share this with somebody, because the thing that we want to do is to make sure that you stay focused in a distracting world. This is Coach David. It's been great talking to you on today and sharing with you. I hope to see you again on next week. This week is Thanksgiving week. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving and that all of the gratitude comes out of you and into others. Have a great week. Remember this right here. You are the architect of your life. I'm Coach David. I believe in you. I will see you on next week. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you then. Bye.